Three, two, one, sync.
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 Again, forgot push to talk, but I did say sync.
I didn't hear when it was, so just one more time.
Yeah.
I also didn't hear Goggalor at all.
Yeah, let's do that.
Oh, it's because I forgot to fucking push the
One
push.
more
I said sync at the right time.
Good old push to talk.
We're professionals.
Okie dokie.
Hey, it would have sounded great on the recording.
Okay, one more time. Three, two,
Three,
one,
two, one,
sync.
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 Okay. Well,
yeah,
fuck
no,
that
I'm
up.
only doing the countdown. Let's just do sync.
Yeah, that was...
We didn't have this problem on the last 5 episodes.
A minute and a half in.
Okay. We already have bonus episode material.
We did it.
Okay.
We're having a great time.
Technically very terrible or anything, but they had to stretch half a game to a full game.
Yeah, it's that it's half a game, and also that there's it still uses the fucking Resident Evil fixed camera for an action game. Which I know that's just a Devil May Cry thing. I honestly kind of hope in Devil May Cry 5 that it will still have terrible fixed camera.
It's kind of expect you to say the opposite of that, but fair.
No, it would be good if it didn't, but I kind of hope they will just doggedly stick to having the terrible, completely inexplicably bad fixed camera. Because they had it in 4 for some reason, and that game was on the 360. Even Resident Evil hadn't had a fixed camera angle since the GameCube.
That's true. I mean, a lot of that you could also say is before Bayonetta, which is why I don't give the Devil May Cry reboot as much credit. Because, wow, it's got all this good, all these innovations in the genre. It's yeah, it's newer and fucking better. Who was a director on a few of the Breath of Fire titles, so who else are you going to bring on it?
Todd Howard.
An interesting story.
BioWare. It's dragons. Every single company ever has written something that has dragons in it, Sid.
Who's Capcom gonna bring in from Capcom staff to do it?
The people who made the fucking Tower of Doom and Shadows of Mystara.
They didn't write, the...
At this point, though, weren't they Vanillaware?
Oh, yeah, probably. Capcom is a mystifying company in many respects.
At least it's better than Psycho Soldier. Now you have to link Psycho Soldier, both versions of it, Sid. Psycho Soldier.
Fire.
Can I run a bit of a... it's related to Dragon's Dogma in that it is about me playing Dragon's Dogma, but unrelated to anything about the game itself. But in a story about my play experience of Dragon's Dogma on PS3. I had a really terrible play experience with that because I was using a PS3 controller that had the controller was fine, but its charge cord, which has the stupid proprietary dongle end, so I couldn't just use whatever other cord. That cord was dying, so it wouldn't charge the controller correctly. So, the amount of times I was playing Dragon's Dogma, which was the game I was playing when this was happening, and the controller would just die and I would get killed by stuff. Or, no, because what happens is actually the game just pauses and it's your controller is unplugged. The amount of times it would just yell at me for that was, 6 or 7 times per play session. And then when I finally found out it was the cord that was broken and shitty, I replaced it with a new cord. The thing is, I didn't know the cord I bought was about 6 inches long until after I bought it. So then I just had to sit really close to my PS3 most of the time.
So you're well acquainted with those textures.
Yeah, the game looks like shit. But just the most uncomfortable playing experience ever, and it's not Dragon's Dogma's fault, it's the PS3's terrible architecture's fault.
It's just reminding me of a thing about the pawns, is that when you're fighting harpies or succubi or the like, they'll just go, ignore the comely face. I think pawns are into some really weird shit.
Yeah, like harpies are like a sexy face on a bird body. Like they're a weird, like sort of bird-like face on a bird body with like the suggestion of boobs. Oh my god, I can't believe we're almost done and this is like so much shorter.
Solid 3 hours less.
Yeah. Also, we're still recording, so you're going to have to edit this out twice, but at least the second time it'll be easier to edit out. But there was a bit where my brother came home, and he's like, you're recording, huh? I'm like, yep. And he's like, can they hear this? No, but it's still recording it. He's like, okay, I'm going to talk about Halo for like 5 minutes. So I'm like, hey Sid, my brother David's ruining this, so you gotta edit it.
Well, like, partway, a little while back, I was eating, so you probably didn't hear really quiet steak noises.
I'm back.
All right, welcome back.
There she is. All right, let's talk about the fucking biggest fucking weird shit in the game.
You're still recording, right, me?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's an uncomfortably long pause.
Also, Grigori is the Shar to my armor.
I named my pawn Tamil, and Tamil is a man's name.
Who's the dragon's dogma for all bow?
Probably Kina.
Yeah, probably.
I think that'll about do it for this episode of We Thought About Gay.
And it only took like 5 hours.
It's a new record.
Not as high as the record of the one that we didn't keep the recording for.
Nor shall it ever be ever again. Ever. Keep thinking. Good night.
Good night. Maybe this one will come out.
Bitch.